We're back, and it's all normal this time around. We're going to be going into another game of Miramar, our second game of today. And the win gets taken by Se7en, with Se7en close behind them. And Se7en especially is a team that really need to step things up here across the board. They had a slow start overall. They had a lot to prove, I think, when it comes down to it. But I want to point out from that last game, Avangar managed to make it towards the 9th place. Didn't get too many kills alongside it. So the outside players was not doing that. They had 4 alive. You never normally see Avangar with 4 alive this early because they get so aggressive. Yeah. And they stayed in with it and then still weren't able to make it happen. Yes, it was a city ending. Yes, the rotations became very difficult. But I mean, what's it going to take for them to... Because we've been able to say before, like, they have a bad game and they just like, cool, we're going. It's time to fight. But something is missing here, Toby, and it's not looking good for them.
I think what we had there was too many rotes and too few smokes and nades available to make the crosses because they were getting pinned down from all different angles once they started their rotation there in the end. And then it doesn't matter how many. I mean, honestly, sometimes you want to be fewer people because you take up less attention from the ones looking in your... You can be one guy sneaking your way over. Whereas if you're 4 guys trying to sprint through like 3 smokes, then what are you going to do, right? So unfortunate for Avangar to go out early there on, of course. We'll see, though, here in Game 2 if they can turn things around. Should be decent playing for them, as we can see. And you guys will be able to see in just a short second as well. Of course, if you don't feel like you see the map enough, you have a map stream available. Go there as well. That is. Not only. Go there as well. Because it's always good to have this lovely map open and available for you guys. It's just it's great to have on the side of everything we see in the first person view.
Yeah, it's very, very helpful, especially if you're wanting to follow certain teams or you want to make some notes on what actual rotations teams are making. Maybe you're looking at this and thinking, oh, okay, there's some things I can take into my own game. The map screen provides a good overview of everything that happens across the map. As PG18, they've opted to take 4AK's previous spot. They've turned things around this time. Avangar will go to the normal position by the looks of it. Se7en, same as them as well. So most people got the spots they would normally want, but this changed from 4AK and PG18. I'm guessing PG18 just saw that they weren't going there and said, all right, then cool.
Either that or Yannick just sent it really early and kind of forced them to not go there. It could be either or. I mean, PG had the distance to go to LSH if they wanted to. They could have flown over there, maybe with a bit of longer parachuting, but they wouldn't necessarily have had to fight for vehicles. So that would have been possible. Why they opt to go north? We aren't, of course, sure, but it's going to be a bit of a change of scenery for them, and who knows, maybe they'll get a circle to him. Nope, they will not. I think they would have been more satisfied with going east this time around, but at least now they have a western route to take down alongside those cliffs and then hit the Valle del Mar area and then come in from the south. That would be an option, but then again, you got to put into account, when you've been looting in the east for the entire Miramar, how much knowledge do you have on, okay, guys, when exactly is it that Tornado Energy and 4AK like to rotate from here? Is that what you pay attention to, or do you like to look at the teams that are somewhat close to you? Right? It's going to be a hard call for the IGL to make. Yeah,
because you may be able to look at the games and see what everyone else is doing, but you will obviously, for certain reasons, focus on specific teams that are nearby, or the ones that are closer towards you. So yeah, this could be a change-up that affects more than just a few teams here. That's the thing. Yeah,
that's the interesting part.
4AK certainly could just run into a we need a home and stuff and take challenges on them, and they'll be like, where the hell are you guys from? Like, what's going on here? Why are you doing this?
Believe me, if Tornado Energy's not the rotation now and they start getting knocked by PG players, they're going to be going into the lobby like, what? Weren't they unless... What?
This doesn't make sense again.
When did we decide to shuffle the loot spot? Imagine that being a thing. You can only land the same place one game at a time. The chaos.
Wow.
The chaos.
Don't even suggest that. Someone's going to make a talk
that's going to be the best game mode ever. That's why we need modding in the game, right? All different kinds of crazy game modes to throw there. You can only land the same place once in a tournament. Really got to prioritize when you loot.
48 games, you'd run out of places to go, wouldn't you?
Can we take those 3 buildings that are over here in the corner of the map? Sure. Does that count? I don't know. And in any case, it won't happen. So let's move on to things that actually might just happen. That would be Quickmath. Rotating to this one late, because I'm not seeing them go from St. Martin anytime early on.
Depends on which style they want to show us this time around.
Of course.
But overall for Quickmath, they went out in 14th last time. A little bit scary for them overall. Now, you can have bad games, right? The reason we mention teams that have these regular finishes here is because that's when they are struggling. They can't even get kill points to that.
It's so interesting. Ever since, I mean, in the beginning, we were like, oh, Quickmath, oh, you need to get kills with it, and oh, you cannot just rely everything on those rotations and whatnot. But ever since they got themselves that 17 kill win, I've been just doing my very best to not say anything about them in that regard, because,
I've seen them do it.
They can do it. I'm just going to wait to see it happen again. And they have been going more aggressive. They have been daring to take some of these angles that we haven't seen them do before. And well, I mean, to a certain extent, it's been paying off. And of course, you're not going to succeed in every single game. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen this time around?
Now, Moonwolf over time has been one of those teams we spoke about quite highly.
Mm-hmm.
Still got to show us some more on the consistency side of things.
Yeah.
Individual performances have been there time and time again. In our previous game, they went out in 12th place, sadly, for them, but still plenty of time to prove themselves across this. And this is the thing, when we have 3 games today now rather than 4, it is like, wow, this is the middle game. If you have a bad start, you've got to really turn it around in the second.
And that's the thing, it goes both ways, right? Because if you have a rough start, it can be hard to get back into it. But at the same time, if you have a really good start, you don't really get to carry that momentum for a whole long, because it's only 2 games remaining. Then I guess we're done playing today. So yeah. It can go both ways. Like if you have 2 bad games, like can we just get this day over with? Then it might be good to just get the whole day done and dusted. But once things are starting to click for you, then you want to, of course, grind it through.
Oh no. I know this might be their only option. I just hate to see it.
They're by themselves for now. I think they should be all right. Pop some tunes. Make some sandwiches.
Go as slow as you could possibly go in the horrible vehicle that is. You're like.
At least they're alone. We know that they're alone. So Winside, they're safe for now. But we don't want to see a triple kill coming into the kill feed anytime soon. And with them as casualties. You know what? One thing that I am looking forward to? Mm-hmm. Now with the whole Erangel 2.0 and everything, the extremely impressive visual makeover they've done to Erangel, I'm pretty certain that that'll happen to other maps too.
Okay.
So could you imagine? I mean, Miramar is already good looking, but what they could do with Miramar, I'm just really interested in seeing what the devs and level designers will come up with. Because I'm sure that's going to be like on the list, right? If they take one map, they're going to take them all. I would assume,
especially the 2 maps that are your main pro maps,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. I would assume at least. So that'll be interesting. Simsi, he hasn't shot yet, but now he does reveal his position. Only thing being, he's by himself. Lux does have an uphill position, but fortunately, none of the Desperado's players up to go towards him. But as I say that,
risky from Fate, really risky.
Not enough shots were fired for them to get scared, and they're all clashing on towards Sims, and Ultra is seen immediately rotating around now.
Nade's going to go out from Simsy. Fake just looking to see exactly how this may turn out. Nade is too far away. Calvin Klein applying pressure from the side. Cold Dementor, though, has gone down to the hands of Tom Hill. So this is where Desperado have to now turn this around. You've got to find Simsy. That nade, oh wow. Through one window, out the other. That's not going to be great. Fake's thinking he could have come in and charged it up, and he's going to go down. Desperado are being picked apart here. Calvin Klein wasn't even able to go into the building and help his teammate out there. This was a bit too confident from Desperado, and now they've paid the price for it. Simsy still up and running, in a good position overall, and Calvin Klein's just on his own, chilling.
Fake threw the nade up and was like, okay, so if I didn't kill him there, at least he went low HP or his audio was obscured or anything, but Simsy took no damage from that at all, and Tommel landing a great headshot down towards Calvin in the window as well. That's gonna force Desperados down to a 1-man left standing situation way, way earlier than what they would have wanted to. Kudos for them to register the split for Besiktas. They realized we're being shot from way too many different angles this early on in the game. And oh, Calvin, you're in the hands of Simsy now. These guys, they know each other.
Yes, Simsy, this is what I'm talking about. Give him the BM. I'm fully down for it.
That's what
and
you
they're
get.
allowed to. They're in top 8. Remember, they are in 8th place.
Yeah.
Remember, this is the unwritten rule. If you are not in the top 8 and you're BMing, sort yourself out.
You got to walk the walk, to talk the talk.
Exactly.
You don't get bragging rights.
Have those points to start off with.
Maybe if you're in last place, you can do it too. Like if you're far enough down last place that you're clearly just doing it to do memes, then you're allowed to do it too.
All right, I might allow it. I don't know why I'm acting like I make the rules up here. I just did it off the start because, like, for me, if you're actually going to do that, Ryan, be like, yeah, I've taken you here. You've actually then got to be able to back up consistently.
Oh yeah, obviously. And I mean, gotta. That's one of those. You know what? You were the one to crash my compound. And now, well, I mean, the team gets eliminated because of it. Desperado's out in 16th place. Tough loss for them. But they'll look to turn things around coming into the final game. And looking at the map screen, an Octave has rotated far and thin down south. His teammates a little more slow to it. You see it right now. New circle's going to pop, and he's hoping that it's going to go south. We'll see, though. Does he get the benefit of it? Well, to a certain extent, he'll be satisfied with that. But look at the amount of teams on the western side now. You have Los Leones in the mix. It's taking up a huge chunk of the circle, and nobody would want to rotate through it. Only No-Tag, really, and Northern Lights, who are already in there, have any knowledge on what's going on inside the city, and even they have very limited info. So no, everybody would look to rotate around, and it's going to make things really hard in the south.
Yeah, I'm already liking what we were seeing there from 4AK. They've just decided, okay, cool, we'll stay on this western side. We'll rotate and go down south, and we'll work our way in from here.
That's a boink. That's a good suspension on the doors of that vehicle. Has
Springboards, man.
Nice bounce to it. Yeah, exactly. Huh.
You know, like in Mad Max, where they're just making crazy cars out of things. He's got springs on the side of it, so if it does hit the side, just pokes them back up. No problems.
That's a thing now. Apparently, Miramar, you can what do you say? You can pimp your rides and get things going.
Oh no, these. He gets picked apart real quick there. Hanny can hear what's going on as well. He's aware that these other PGA team players are close by. They may now just rotate around in a different direction, but still more bullets coming out towards them. Nail up now under fire. And Hanny doesn't want to give up just yet.
Oh, they are coming off of a tough two-player loss early on in the previous game, and they want to get something here. But Maxis, of all players, is up there to get a knock in towards Sinson. Nail up, though, on the backside of things was taken down as well. So PG going to be going down to just 2 players early on in this game. And Nemereth all by himself trying to get away.
That's really good here from Avangar as well. Riddle, they funneled PG-18 in towards Avangar, and then Avangar started firing at both of them, saying, thanks, guys, we'll take anything you throw at us.
That's the issue. You can always take these shots when you're in the open, trying to see if you can get kills, but you constantly have to be prepared that people, especially on Miramar, when you're out here on the southern side, people will most likely spot you once you start shooting, and if you don't move around like a madman while doing so, I mean, they'll be lining up those shots and leave Maxis all just a split of a second, and he'll take your head off.
Now, this is where Clib needs to come alive. We spoke about it, right? He is one of those players that can try and challenge Max's over the bolt.
Yeah. Bold duel of the ages.
He's got to have a confidence in it, though, right? I think this is the thing that's lacking for Riddle.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not going as aggressive as Maxis, obviously, but that's also, to me, their playstyle differences. I mean, I feel like Avangar does more to position themselves to allow for Maxis to use his bold action than Riddle does to kind of complement Clip in that regard. You know what I mean? Like, Clip will get those headshots in when they're in position to do that, but it's as if Avangar specifically positioning themselves and saying, okay, we need to be in a place where we know Maxis can start lining up these shots. So that's, of course, part of the reason why they do manage to do that. Moonwolf, we haven't seen a whole lot this game so far, but Rezo is going to go down to Tornado Energy, who is quite quickly starting to wake up here. They got themselves a decent day yesterday, and now they come off a good first game. And, well, I mean, they're starting to frag out early on this one, too.
Yeah, 4th place and 11 kills in game 1. They had the final win of yesterday as well. So they're trying to take that momentum and bring it over to the next day and to Miramar here. It's Northern Lights on the hunt, looking for some of the players around him.
I was questioning why Quizzy wasn't shooting, but then I noticed he's all by himself, and he's in a complete utter 2-2 split. And James, I don't know if you're grinning over there, but this circle just shifted back up towards Los Leones, and we could go back-to-back city endings if this circle doesn't... listen to me. If this circle does not go down south, which is, of course, where we do want it to go.
If you're Quickmath right now, you just don't move. You just stay. You're already in there. There's no point of anything changing here.
Nope. You're just going to be chilling and waiting and hoping for them to go north.
We need a home, though. Rita, instantly being taken out by Besiktas. She was the furthest from 1-4. The rest of the team aren't close by just yet. Winside already moving their way back into Los Leones. They're now saying, all right, we'll go and just take it here. We're going to guess that it could be a city ending coming out.
City endings. Gotta love him.
Now Moonwolf, they already lost Resu early on. Tornado were taking shots at them. They're not done with this fight just yet, as Oko does manage to pull off the nade onto Melman, but it's only going to be a knock for now as Edukos taking a few shots away. Melman goes down, and this is where Tornado need to ask themselves, is it really worth continuing this fight?
Yeah, he didn't get to push on over while his teammates were doing just that, and he unfortunately goes down because of it. Comfort, Example, and Aaliyah able to stay up on the other side, but they're starting to take shots now as well over towards the remaining Moonwolf players, and they're playing on the western side of this circle, and if they can do this successfully, they could have a lot of room to maneuver around if they can keep anyone from rotating over towards them.
And Quickmath going to have good information of everything that's going on around them. They would have heard all these new teams rock up to the party and understand that, okay, we got one here, we got one there.
Yeah.
Because they were the first team. They were already there. They didn't have to move anywhere. This is where they've already hunkered down in for the past few minutes.
Riddle has gone on a wide rotation as well, coming in all the way from the north. They were down south earlier, but then they lost one player, and they've turned things around now. Going back up north, we'll wait and see just about a minute and 5 seconds whether that's going to pay off or not. Now, Ibel, on your screen, Zoekt Een Naam winners of last game. He's going to take one to the chin. He's going to force back down to heel.
Don't want to stay out facing that just yet. Need to play the smart game here. 4AK, as we said, they made their way over from the west. They've gone all the way down south now. They'll be hearing what's going on, but they've got Zen, Se7en, and Avangar all very close by.
Not exactly going to make things any easier, and this is just going to be compound fights from here on out, of course, depending on where the next circle is going to go. If it does go back down south, there's going to be a lot of those teams in this city already. We're going to have a hard time leaving, but for the teams that are located now on the hillsides, we're talking Besiktas, we're talking, I mean, to a certain extent, Zoekt Een Naam a little further down south, but they have a chance to take that hilltop position control. If they can get on up there and hold them, if this circle goes south, that's going to be a big old shooting fest for them.
Nice shots being landed there by Daboom, but he's not able to get the knock. Perfectix put under pressure. And again, with Northern Lights in their positions, it's very split up even here.
Yeah.
Like, you're in the city where we're now going, definitely. And you can see it. Perfectus is in one building on his own. Quiz is on the other side. And then they've got the Deep and OK Bro outside the circle. They've got to make their way in. And you've got all the other teams rotating. I don't understand what they're going to try and achieve here.
Somehow relocate on Perfectix. That's going to be their their best option. But we talked Tornado Energy before. This whole last circle, they were able to keep anyone from pushing west, right? Look at how much room there is over on that side of the circle now. They have the entire thing to maneuver through. Now, 4AK are making their way on up towards them, but there's going to be so many teams on the east, and it's practically not going to be possible for anyone to move anywhere without, well, I mean, having multiple teams shoot at you.
And this is a smart decision from Tornado. We saw him earlier, taking a fight with Moonwolf.
Yeah.
They both lost one player, and they just decided to back away. They didn't want to take this fight anymore. Quickmath have now already started to move. They're going to go for a more central area to fight from here.
Perfectix is going aggressive on this one, despite being the only one really in a decent spot to play from. It's going to fall back down now. Edelweiss is going to go out as well. They were trying to do the same rotation 4AK did, but they've got caught off guard. 4AK forced out of the vehicles now as they do here. 7 making the rotation by them.
The Deep and OK Bro just running out in the open. This is dangerous. This is very scary. They're taking a few shots. Simsy's going to actually find the kill onto Quizzy now, which does see them lose a player. And we spoke about this. This is where it's awkward because Perfectix, he got into a good spot on his own, but no one else is close by.
And he was out of position to help his teammates. Unfortunately, Quizzy does go down. We talked Quizzy before. Whenever they do lose him, things start to rumble and fall apart for Northern Lights, but we'll see if the Deep and OK Bro can indeed hold off Ultra. He's stepping like a madman, so of course that's going to be hurt, but there's nade! Ooh, not going to do any damage. He does get the first knock on down, though.
Besiktas coming alive, trying to get the job done here. Pushing out, and nicely done there from Ultra. They are massively under pressure. Besiktas taking them down, no problem at all, and now they've only got Perfectix to find.
We've seen so many times Besiktas do these up-close 4-man alive pushes. There's a team you don't want to have pushing down towards you in these situations, that's going to be them. They're so damn good at up-close engagements. And, well, I mean, they showed it right there, how well they can execute them.
You know, we said about 4AK being down in the south. If you guys are watching the map screen, they've currently met up with 7, so there's a battle going back and forth between them. Avangar and Zen taking a fight with each other as well. Nades going out. Page trying to use the tree as some sort of cover. 4AK, they're actually getting picked apart completely here. I think they've only got 2 players left alive, and 7 just slowly knocking them down a peg.
Avangar is being contained from so many different angles, and it's practically impossible for them to go anywhere. Page does spot Tuck, takes him down to about half HP again. Avangar still 4 guys alive. You can see every time Zoekt Een Naam peeks on over the top, they get shots fired up towards him too, so they can't go too aggressive on this one either.
Yeah, this is it, right? If you overextend too much, it's not just the fight in front of you, it's the multiple teams around you. They'll start to take chunks out of your health and try and take you down. Vasku trying to spray away, but he's not able to get all the shots to connect. A lot of smoke being utilized already.
The thing is, everyone is finding their homes in the city now as well, so they can all just sit tight, look out those windows and look up towards this hillside where they're hearing all the action. That's going to be where a lot of these players' eyes are now that everyone's really kind of dug themselves in deep inside the city.
Azrin getting knocked, but in the meantime, we're seeing Besiktas heavily under pressure from We Need a Home. The circle is going to go over towards the eastern side a bit more, but still covering most of the city. T-Bone's been found by Washout, so Zen now fighting on all fronts, fighting on all sides. Vasquez pushed in, and now they've only got 2 players left alive. This is not what they would have wanted, and We Need a Home are trying to wipe out Besiktas down on the mini-screen, and that's exactly what's going to happen. 15th place for Besiktas, despite getting a good amount of kills early on. I think they had 6.
Yep. Besiktas tried to push through, didn't really work for them in the end of things there. We Need a Home able to hold them off, and Avangar as well able to take down. It's going to be Page of Vasco left alive down in the silos. It's not going to be an easy place to play from at all. Fortunately, for now at least, we know he doesn't, but he is indeed by himself. And you can see 4AK, they're continuing their route around. They've been running in circles for a while now. And they've made their way all the way over to the west.
On block, spraying away onto Krabic there. Quite some distance to do it at. Frank's been picked apart as well, so 7, despite taking that fight and dealing a lot of damage and kills onto 4AK, now they're under pressure of their own. So many angles to try and fight from. Edukos just wants to take shots. I respect it, but he needs to be able to hit them because he keeps alerting other teams to his position. Yeah. And he's going to become the sole target, which people are going to want to finish off here.
I like the idea of peeking right now. Edukos pretty good. 4 weapons pointing your direction. You might want to reposition or do something to at least have them guess to some extent where you're sitting.
Yeah, just calm down a little bit, you know. Relax for a second.
And he's not even inside the new circle either. He needs to crawl on forward. And as you can see, I mean, sure, they got 3 guys up and alive still, but this push up the hill is not going to be easy if Avangar can position himself well enough because, because he was shooting. Now he has to run in the open to make. And Avangar, with them being inside the circle already, they'll do everything they can to hold him from being able to make this run.
Now, very different game compared to last time, Toby. We've got 14 teams and 33 alive. It's a complete flip side of what we had before. Everyone's just trying to hide it up for the meantime, once they've worked their way in.
There's still plenty of room available. Edukos goes up on the top to get a peek in. Not going to work out for him. He's down low HP. Circle's pushing already. So that should be his call to make the run on through. Okay, Akko trying to get an ankle, and he does manage to find Maxis. So that's going to be a knock, and potentially the time he needs to buy his teammate to get into safety.
That was a nade bounce and a half. I know they didn't get anywhere close to anyone, but that went far. That went deep off towards the Moonwolf players. Avangar still have to be so careful. Yes, you are in a good position. You've got massive high ground to fight from here, but you're also very easy to spot from afar. Yeah,
and they have to get down this hill eventually. And right now, I mean, their focus point is trying to deal with Moonwolf to potentially take their spot and make the rotation from there. But if it was me, I would probably sit and try and scout some buildings and say, okay, so which buildings have we seen that there's not been shooting from? But then again, of course, you could also just get the hard shift down towards you and stick around for a little while longer.
So we're going to go and cut off most of the city now. That means Riddle, Winside, PG18, 4AK, all have been excluded, as well as no tag team as well, Gifted on his own. There was a lot of solo players in this, mind you. Tornado right on the edge of it. Zen, Vasco, he's just chilling still. And Gamerlegion have gone directly for the center compounds.
They scouted it, they saw it was open, and they've sent it down there straight away. I was going to say Avangar might be wise in sending a player or 2 down to one of those compounds should that next one center up. But they opt to stay in the mountain, and that's going to give Gamerlegion all the room in the world to play from.
Let's see if Azrin will spot out. Yeah, he just sees Fex, takes a few shots towards him, gets the knock in, and well, he's got a car to hide behind, but Azrin then gets picked off by Krabic. They're just trading. As soon as they make any noise, as soon as they poke out, it is game on. It is more bullets coming towards them. Tok, trying to keep him at bay, wants to push him back a little bit, but Azrin will be finished off, so this has not worked out well for the Avangar side, at least for now. And Octave also getting knocked by Gamerlegion. This is the problem. It's too open. You're just nowhere to hide.
Should have gone down when they had the chance. So you can see how open of an area they have down there. They could actually shoot. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are vehicles up there too. Could just have full speed send it forward, but opted to stick around. They wanted to get the finish shot on towards Moonwolf. Didn't really pan out though. Nemereth spots out 2-0 now. Multiple other targets nearby, but in the end, Nemereth is going to fall down, and that's going to be PG out in 14th place.
Many of these solo players still just trying to hold on to what they've got.
Gotta hold on to what you got.
Oh,
Yeah,
you could have
that's a
done that
song.
with more confidence.
Yeah, I was just
There should have been some proper beat to it.
well, you didn't beatbox for me, so I didn't.
Do you
feel
ever
the-
beatbox me when I sing? No, you don't. Shut up and do it. You should just be singing. Can't only be me.
Oh, that is true. The western side was open for days. For the longest of time, so much room was to be claimed over here. Everybody realized that, and now everyone's trying to make the escape from this exact spot. Moonwolf trying to hold off Buster, does get taken down, but we still have more players to be dealt with.
Se7en thought they could escape, but Moonwolf hot on their heels. Good thing here you're seeing from Moonwolf is they are continuing to also look up towards Avangar. As Se7en will now go down in 13th off the back of that second place. And it's Nixties all on his own. They run straight into him. He'll take an additional kill point. Why not?
Sneaky peeky, and we keep talking 4AK. They had a good day yesterday, and they want some points here, of course. Ooh, Kumpad, he probably saw that nade come through right by his face. Nixty spots out Arco, not able to get the knock, though.
Arco needs to be careful on this one. Can't waste too much time with it. Gets a nade out ready. Other nades coming in as well, and that's perfect.
Yeah.
Nixty won't get up in time, and he'll go straight down the moment he stands up. 4AK will go out in 12th, but most importantly here, this is giving Moonwolf more ground, more room to work with, because they're well aware they've been here for so long now. The past two circles have worked in their favor. They know Avangar's up high, they know where Gamerlegion is, so they can watch all these other teams slowly funnel their way in.
Avangar, they just got hearts shifted once more. They could not be more lucky than what they are right now. And Vasco almost not getting that one in, but does manage to find the knock in the end. That's the 3x on, opted to go with the hip fire rather than trying to scope it on in. Worked out for him, but that's going to be the first single kill for Zoekt Een Naam off of a win. They want to get some more with it here.
Tornado energy, the next one's down, and this is what it's going to come down to. All of these little fights now kicking off as everyone is scrambling for space. You step out into the open and there are bullets spraying towards you in every direction. You have to really focus fire and deal with a team quickly in this, because the moment you miss a few shots, that is where you're going to be penalized.
And this is where the guys in Avangar can really start to strive, because earlier there was enough space that they could focus up the hill, but now they have to worry so much more about what's next to them than what's up those hills, and they need to take those fights close quarter. Riddle does get eliminated. That's going to be Quickmath, securing themselves a kill and getting the rest back on up towards Insolenzo. So 4 make the 3 players back up on their feet.
I have no idea how Vasco hasn't been hit by anyone yet.
Just chilling.
He just like ran out on the road. He heard what Quickmath are doing. He's now repositioned himself. He's right on the edge of it still, but he's got time to work with. And he's just hoping more teams are going to run out in front of him.
It's all about taking the spots that aren't the obvious ones. If you or anyone else, you'd go down to the corner here because it's still inside the circle, right? But Vasco knows that that's going to be where they'll be looking for the solo players. You can see PEL position in, so they're anticipating a player to be down here somewhere. And, well, I mean, fortunately for Vasco, he gets to play a different position and stays alive for a little while longer.
Both Moonwolf and Avangar are loving where these circles have popped from. They've
Yeah.
actually almost had like a little agreement of, okay, we'll just leave each other alone now and we'll take everyone else that comes in front of us. There's no tag team. Give it, he is finally found. He tried to hold on, but he'll just be eliminated outside of placement points here.
Next circle. Are we going city? Are we going south? This road is cutting off so many players in the north, and just 2 teams are sitting south of it, but it's hard shifting back up north. And Gamerlegion, they sure as hell must be happy with that 6 circle shift earlier for allowing for them to push down to safety. They can now sit in the safety of the compound here for a while longer and do everything they want in terms of trying to hold off the teams in the south.
Ooh, Max is. I want to see all of those from first position, because he just does it time and time again. He even manages to get the finish off, but he is going to take some extra damage towards him. Washout is hoping one of them is going to poke up. But this is the problem now. The circle has shifted. You have to move. And Avangar, their way out is very difficult in comparison.
Yeah.
Moonwolf can move forward, but they know that Avangar's close by. But the other teams aren't going to focus on Moonwolf just yet.
I think the best play for Avangar to make here is somehow clear off Moonwolf. Like, you have to take the engagement to them and then push down that hill, because they have a bit of a slope they can fight from down there, and that's going to be where they'd want to position themselves for that next circle. Because they still have a solid like 40% of the circle over towards their side of the road, and if they can stay around there for much longer, that'd be really, really, really good for them. But smokes are running out. Things are starting to get tricky, and you ain't going to get a whole lot more room to work with. So you need to make this decision now, and Avangar, you have to be decisive. You have to commit to it as well. You cannot just stick around up here. You're going to go down because of it. Look at how exposed they are.
Yeah. Oh, Quickmath though. Vasquez able to get the job done as well. He had a bit of help from Avangar. Will find himself one additional kill despite being a solo player. Wash out onto Maxazor as well. The fight is going to start, and there is lots of grenades being used here as the Molotov comes up as well.
Talk is going for the rest. I'm not sure Maxazor will get up in time though. Nope, it's not going to happen. He has to make the run continuously forward. And Vasco somehow still alive. Gets the finish off on towards Insolenzo as well. Talk goes down. Maxazor is out. So that's going to be Avangar out in 6th place. And all of a sudden things are looking grim. We're going dead center, guys. Just like last game. Last time around though, we had 20 people up to finish things off. This time around only 11. But it's not going to make things any easier just because of that.
Vasco, huge bit of work done there. Managed to secure 5th place for Zen, but also a good few kills.
Yep.
Somehow as a solo player, just individual ability, he was able to get the job done. Now, Winside, they have been able to hold these positions for so long.
Yep.
They've had some difficult rotations to make and still survived. They've only had 2 kills so far, but they've managed to keep themselves going. Now they've got We Need a Home close by, but they have to be very cautious here because Gamerlegion is the one who's in full effect closer towards the center.
They have been on the quiet side of the circle, but that's where it really pays off for them. Despite only having 2 kills now, they just upped their ante in the respect of trying to get themselves the win here. So many players in numbers, but do they have enough to peek the corners? No, they don't.
No.
Moon under fire. Then it all goes down immediately there too.
They need to do this as a team here. Donator should have never gone down.
Yeah.
Gamerlegion is going to get involved as well as the nades go out and take away some of these precious kills that Winside would have wanted. It will see We Need a Home going down in 4th though.
Look at Marco trying to push around the side of the smoke. He does get spotted out though. Rue is there to see him. And now Gamerlegion with a good angle from the high ground positions. They should have this one. If not racked up already, then a pretty good chance at doing so. It's going to be in the end. Winside eliminated, I believe. The boom naded his teammate. Not sure exactly what unfolded there. Nope, it's just going to be them back up. So it's 3v2 now.
This is Gamerlegion's one to take here, and it's all about the timing. The smokes are starting to fade as well. Gifted, Rue, and Moon need to be so careful. Gifted Rue is just going to be left alone. Moon then gets instantly taken out, and Gamerlegion get another win on the board, 7 kills, and played very well at the end there, even just from the point of where they saw where We Need a Home was. When they watched Winside and We Need a Home fight, they threw the nades over, they got stuck in, they got involved, and then they actually went round and just finished off everyone else that came around with it.
Gamerlegion, they pushed down south in Circle 5. Once that pup they saw it was available, they had scouted it for a while. They immediately sent it. They got 2 hard shifts down in that direction. Sure, that's always beneficial. But then again, 48 games, Circles have to go somewhere, right? And you're gonna be clapping your hands once you do see them going in your direction. This game, once again, early game kills, early game rotations that were tricky. I'm interested in seeing what PG is planning on doing next game. Should we have similar circles to or similar plane to what we saw this time around? Them being up north, taking 4AK spot was a bit of a change of scenery. So we'll see if that's going to repeat itself or if they'll go back out east. And then just, I mean, the whole fight, the whole match was just Las Leones. From 10 minutes in, it was pretty much only the city available. That's what you get, James, for city endings. Twice now.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, but they've not been the most exciting city endings from like some of the ones we've had in the past, right? There's been a bit of a different style of city endings. That's how it's come down. But it is this chaotic craziness where even teams that look like they're in good position with 4 players, 3 players left alive ahead of other teams who have got 2 or 1 can quickly have things turned around on them because it's these close quarters fights which some teams they could never expect that a player is going to be sat there. Like Vasco, how much of a nuisance was he to about 3 or 4 different teams?
And that's what makes these types of circles so damn hard to play around. There's always the whole look for the snake, but there are only so many angles you can cover. Even with 4 guys alive, it can be hard to deal with.
14 teams at 21 minutes as well there. Avangar are going to be kicking themselves that they only managed to get 6 kills throughout this. Considering how much they were able to do damage-wise, they were up top. They were literally seeing everything that was going on around them. They just weren't able to get the finish-offs. That's the problem.
To me, they were being a bit too indecisive. And it's a rare thing for me to see from Avangar. I fully respect them sticking to the mountain early on when Gamerlegion pushed around. Sure, then they get 2 more hard south circles. That's all good fun. But you've got to realize at some point, we cannot sit up here much longer. They should have sent it down towards Moonwolf before Moonwolf pushed out east. They could have sent it over the other side of the road whenever Zoekt Een Naam left and they had the room there to play from.
Yeah.
It's just they had so many different options in trying to just send one guy down, take some sort of control. Instead, they allowed for other teams to pin them on this mountaintop. But you can see right here, I mean, they just ended up getting killed because of it. Is there a player there? Yes, there is.
This is brilliant. Like, poor Vascu, under pressure in every sense of the word, but still manages to get the kills in there.
Yeah.
Hold on for as long as possible and helps them secure a good few positions with it. Standings of this one are going to be quite interesting because it wasn't like one team just walked away with high kills. And this goes to show, right? Gamerlegion, 7, Moonwolf with 9, Winside with 4, We Need a Home with 6. Everyone got a good amount of kills within this top 8. And Zen, they'd like, with no offense to them, shouldn't have even been able to get away with 3 kills at that point. It was just Vascu on his own.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, Besiktas as well, they came off to a really strong start, but all of a sudden they ran into We Need a Home, and they completely tore them apart. So 4 teams making a double digits in points. That's pretty impressive. And you talk to Avangar, I mean, sure, 8 points ain't a 15-kill win, but it's still
helpful. It's still what they need.
It's points on the board, and that's, I mean, if you can average 8 points, you're going to be in the top 3, something like that. Of course, we'll have to double check whether that's correct or not by the end of the season. But normally that's been kind of the number. If you're sitting around 8 points on average, then you're, I mean, pretty much, if not in first place, there's something close to it.
I think I just expected more from their position they had for them to be able to pick up some teams because they were shooting constantly. They couldn't get the finish-offs on some players. They spent a lot of time battling back and forth with Moonwolf as well, and they were consistently being knocked down. That was the problem.
Yeah, I was going to say they were shooting constantly, but that's because they were getting shot at constantly, right? They were in the position that everyone knew to look at. Once everybody settled in their buildings, as I said during the game as well, once they all kind of found the confidence saying, okay, now we kind of know where people are around us, that's when you can start looking further. And everybody had some sort of an eye up to that mountain. And up there was just Avangar running around like silhouettes on a blank canvas.
Now, this is where Occo is coming to shine once again, up at 5 kills for his team. That man has impressed us over and over again here. As we look at the standings we currently have in Gamerlegion, they say to other teams, you can get close, and then they go, but wait, we're going to come back with it again, and they do manage to get that previous win. So win 2 days in a row for them. They'll be happy with that. Zen pushed their way up into 2nd place now. Desperado in 7th, and close behind them, though, is going to be Besiktas now because they've been eking away at these points consistently again.
We Need a Home also surpassing 4AK down in the bottom of things. Of course, it's not the biggest news, but you can see the distance still for these guys up to Riddle. And then from Riddle up to Avangar, things are starting to look hard and difficult. But for Avangar, I mean, they got a bit of a distance to make still, and keeping in mind that Quickmath has had a 17-kill win. The fact that they're sitting down in that place right now, 12th place, maybe 11th place, that's just... Guys, we talk consistency all the time, right? I love the fact that they pulled off that win because that's got to be a huge momentum boost. I mean, it's insane, right? Even for them, I mean, it's crazy. You got to be able to follow it up with something.
That's it, right? I would rather not have a 27-point game and have multiple 10 to 12-point games and be in there with it. And that's kind of how you need to play it sometimes. It's not all about just having those 1 or 2 standout performances across all of the contenders. But we've got one more game to come your way, ladies and gentlemen. You will not want to miss it because we had 2 city endings so far. Can we get a third? Well, you have to